When we're speaking about cross-cultural communication, we should be very careful with the process of communication itself. And I would like to remind those of you who are already familiar with that process, with the element of this process, and to share with those of you who do not know about these elements. There are three main elements: perception, interpretation, and behavior. So perception, it is about how and what we absorb when communicating, how and what we absorb from the message that is conveyed to us. Interpretation is based on our perception of the message. And behavior, we behave motivated by interpretation based on the perception. And the interesting thing that all three elements, they are determined by culture. Yes, there are some other things that also influence all these three elements, like environment, professional experience, some family traditions, norm, etc. But culture influences a lot all these three elements. I will give you one real example of negotiation. These negotiations happened between Americans and Japanese businessmen. They had a pre-negotiation session, which took place online and by emails. Then they agreed to meet in Japan to sign a contract. It was expected that they will have two sessions. First session will be devoted just to in-person meeting, to discussions of the subject, and the second session will be just signing of the contract. So Americans arrived, they had the first session, and during the whole session, most of the part Americans spoke, and Japanese very often were saying, okay, okay, okay. And the next day, when Americans arrived to sign the contract, they have been surprised by the fact that Japanese refused to sign this contract. And when Americans asked, so why are you refusing? You said that, you said, okay, 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 yesterday. And they said, we said, okay, meaning that we understand you, we hear you, but our okay did not mean that we accept your offer. And this is also about context. Of course, this is also about designing the process of negotiation, depending on some cultural issues, depending on using negotiation techniques. In this sense, I would devote more time to asking questions than speaking. So it's just a small example.